All right, so you're getting ready for a circus arts teacher interview?
Not your average classroom.
No, definitely not.
Right. That's a
Eh,
pretty cool gig.
Yeah, and we're going to help you nail that interview.
We've got some fantastic insights from RoleCatcher.
And they've given us like a backstage pass
Uh-huh.
to their career guide, their interview tips.
We're going to break it all down.
Yeah, everything from the role itself to those like tough interview questions.
Those really get you thinking.
Right. Okay, so before we fly high on the trapeze of interview questions, let's get a good grip on the basics. Like, what does a circus arts teacher do day to day?
So imagine this. You're not just teaching someone how to juggle.
Right.
You're guiding them to develop their own unique juggling style.
So you're like a choreographer meets a daredevil.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And you could even be casting and directing student performances
So think about seeing your students shine under the spotlight.
after you've helped them craft their acts. It's pretty rewarding.
RoleCatcher highlights all of this in the scopes section of their career guide.
Yeah, they really emphasize that it's not just about teaching skills.
Right. It's about shaping young artists.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. They also mention some pros and cons, right?
It's not all glitter and applause. They point out things like irregular hours, working in potentially challenging conditions, think outdoor performances.
In all kinds of weather.
Right.
Rain or shine, the show must go on. And also, the job market can be competitive.
It is a very niche field.
Okay, no sugarcoating here.
Yeah.
But you're here because you're drawn to the magic of circus arts.
Right.
Right. So let's tackle the interview itself.
Let's dive in.
Using those 8 questions from RoleCatcher's Guide.
What?
Question number 1.
Can you tell us about your experience teaching circus arts?
Okay. Pretty straightforward. But what are they really getting at with this one?
Well, they want to see your passion, your journey in this world.
So have you taught formally? Have you volunteered at a youth circus?
Exactly.
Even just personal projects can showcase your dedication.
Right. Anything that shows you're serious about this.
So it's about painting a picture of how you've honed your skills as a circus arts teacher. What if you're newer to teaching? Say you have experience in related fields like dance or gymnastics.
Right. You can highlight those transferable skills, emphasize how you break down complex movements,
Create a safe learning environment.
give constructive feedback. All of that applies to circus arts.
It's about showing how your past experiences have prepared you for this role.
Exactly. And remember RoleCatcher's tip about gaining experience through volunteering or attending circus schools.
Yeah.
Weaving that into your answer shows you're proactive and passionate.
Okay. I'm already seeing how important it is to connect the dots between your experience and what they're looking for. Question number 2.
How do you approach teaching circus arts to students with different skill levels?
This one screams adaptability, right?
For sure. Imagine you have a group of students. Some are learning to walk a tightrope, while others are already doing backflips on it.
Right. You got to create an environment where everyone feels challenged and supported. How do you convey that you've got those juggling skills? Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Be specific. Give examples. Like, I once had a student who was apprehensive about heights. So for their trapeze training, we started with simple swings close to the ground and gradually built their confidence.
I love that. It shows you understand the importance of creating a tailored approach for each student.
And RoleCatcher emphasized the importance of fostering individual styles.
Yeah.
You're not just teaching a one-size-fits-all approach. You're helping each student find their artistic voice.
All right. This next question is a big one. How do you ensure student safety during circus arts classes?
Absolutely. This is super important. They want to see that you're aware of safety protocols and that you've internalized them.
So how do you go beyond just listing basic safety rules?
Talk about your proactive approach. Before each class, I meticulously inspect all equipment. I also establish clear safety rules and expectations.
You're demonstrating a deep understanding of why safety is paramount.
And don't forget, the career guide mentioned those challenging conditions you might encounter. You can bring those up here too. If we're doing an outdoor performance in hot weather, I make sure everyone stays hydrated and takes breaks.
It shows you're thinking ahead. On to question 4.
Can you describe a time when you had to modify your teaching style to accommodate a student's learning needs?
This feels like a test of your flexibility.
It is. Choose an example that highlights a specific challenge and how you adapted.
So maybe you had a student with a physical limitation that required modifying a circus technique.
Right. And share how you helped them achieve success despite those challenges. By working together and adjusting our approach, the student was able to master the silks climb.
That's a great example. Speaking of success, let's move on to question 5.
How do you incorporate creativity and artistic expression into your circus arts classes?
Now, this is where the magic comes in.
Definitely. Talk about how you encourage students to personalize routines,
Experiment with styles.
create their own acts. Think Cirque du Soleil meets a student talent show?
You're inspiring them to become true artists. And remember those networking opportunities RoleCatcher mentioned.
Yeah.
If you've taken students to see professional shows or invited guest artists, mention those experiences.
It shows you're going above and beyond.
Okay, let's tackle this one. Can you tell us about a particularly challenging student you have worked with and how you were able to support their progress?
This one requires finesse. You don't want to come across as complaining. Focus on how you built a relationship and identified their needs. I had a student who struggled with performance anxiety, so we worked together to develop coping mechanisms like breathing exercises. Eventually, they were able to confidently showcase their skills.
It's more about your problem-solving skills and empathy than about the student themselves. On to question 7.
How do you approach teaching circus arts techniques that are particularly challenging or unfamiliar to students?
So this is where you break down complex moves into smaller steps.
Exactly. You're building a staircase to those amazing feats.
Right. Talk about how you create progressions. Use visual aids, give constructive feedback, maybe even share personal anecdotes about your own learning journey.
It's all about being a guide.
Okay, and onto the final question in this set. How do you encourage students to take risks and push themselves outside of their comfort zones during circus arts classes?
This is where you showcase your ability to create a safe and encouraging space, where students feel empowered to try new things.
So it's not about pushing them blindly into the unknown.
No.
It's about building their confidence and helping them develop that "I can do this" mindset.
Exactly. Talk about starting with low-stakes challenges
Yeah.
and gradually increasing the difficulty. We might start with simple balancing exercises on a low wire and then slowly increase the height.
It's about being that supportive coach who helps them soar to new heights.
Literally and metaphorically.
We've covered all 8 interview questions. I'm feeling pumped up just listening to you.
But remember, this is just the beginning. We still have RoleCatcher's AI secret weapon to explore.
Yes. Let's talk about how we can leverage the power of technology to really fine-tune our answers and shine in that interview.
We've just finished demystifying those 8 essential interview questions.
Right. And now it's time to unleash the power of RoleCatcher's AI.
Yes, that's right.
We've hinted at this AI magic before. Can it really analyze those interview questions and give me like personalized feedback?
It can, and it does it with like remarkable precision. Remember those sample responses in the interview guide?
Yeah.
They're a great starting point, but RoleCatcher's AI takes it to the next level. It actually analyzes the keywords and skills in the specific job description you're targeting.
Oh, so it's not giving generic canned responses.
No, not at all. It's about highlighting those things that make you the ideal candidate for that specific role. Think of it as a spotlight,
Okay.
illuminating your most relevant strengths.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly a tech whiz. Is this AI system user-friendly?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher has made it incredibly intuitive. You simply input your answers. And the AI analyzes them, offers suggestions for improvement, maybe add more detail or provide stronger examples.
All right.
It might even flag potential red flags
Oh, wow.
that could raise concerns for the interviewer.
It's like having a personal interview coach in my pocket.
Yes, exactly.
But what about those of us who get tongue-tied in interviews? Can this AI help with that too?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher offers a video practice feature where you can record yourself answering interview questions
Oh, wow.
and then receive AI-powered feedback on your delivery. It analyzes everything, your tone of voice, your body language, your pacing, your eye contact.
Oh.
It gives you tips on how to project confidence.
It's like having a virtual mirror
Yeah.
that reflects how I come across.
Exactly.
That's really cool. That's invaluable.
It is. And here's what's even more impressive. RoleCatcher's AI doesn't just focus on individual questions. It also analyzes your overall performance.
Whoa.
Identifies patterns and trends that might be holding you back.
Okay, so it's helping me understand my overall communication style and how to refine it.
Exactly. Maybe you tend to ramble under pressure.
Right.
Or maybe you're a little bit too reserved. RoleCatcher can pinpoint these tendencies and offer strategies for improvement.
This is mind-blowing. We've covered those key questions, and now this incredible AI tool I'm feeling much more prepared already.
And remember, RoleCatcher offers so many other resources. Career guides, resume builders. Speaking of which, the career guide mentioned advancement paths for circus arts teachers. What are some of the possibilities?
Yeah, what are some of those possibilities? It's exciting to think about where this role could lead.
Well, some instructors eventually transition into performers themselves.
Oh, that's
They've honed their skills, they've built a network, and they're immersed in that world. It's a natural progression.
makes sense.
Others might move into directing or producing roles.
Oh, okay.
They can use their understanding of circus arts to create captivating performances.
Yeah, that would be so cool. To be the creative force behind a breathtaking show.
Right. And of course, there's the entrepreneurial route. Starting your own school or training center.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's perfect for those who have a vision.
Right.
They can design their own curriculum, create a vibrant community, and leave their mark on the circus world.
It's inspiring to consider all those possibilities.
Yeah.
This interview isn't just about landing a job. It's about stepping onto a path
Right.
with endless creative opportunities.
That's a great way to put it. And that's something you can highlight in the interview itself. Express your enthusiasm for lifelong learning, your vision for the future.
Okay, so we've covered career advancement. What about networking? The guide mentioned opportunities specific to the circus arts community.
They did. They suggested attending circus conventions and workshops, joining online forums, participating in local shows and festivals. These are all great ways to connect with other professionals, learn about trends,
Okay.
potentially find mentors.
It's like building a network with
Yes.
fellow artists,
Exactly.
all dedicated to keeping the magic of circus arts alive.
And those connections can be invaluable throughout your career. Whether you're seeking advice or inspiration, those relationships are essential.
We've gone from feeling a bit intimidated by this whole interview process
Right.
to being excited about the possibilities.
That's the beauty of exploring a new career path.
Yeah.
With the right resources and a bit of guidance. Now remember, we still have that final act to discuss,
Yeah,
the follow-up.
that's right. The interview is over, but the journey continues. What happens next?
We'll be diving into the art of the follow-up
And we're back.
for that final act.
Yes. The art of the follow-up.
It's important.
Yeah. What happens after you walk out of the interview room?
Don't just disappear. That's where the follow-up comes in.
Okay, so we're talking about the classic thank you note. But is that still a thing?
It absolutely is. In this digital age,
Yeah.
a thoughtful thank you note really makes you stand out.
It shows you care.
Exactly. It reinforces your interest in the position.
It's like sticking the landing.
That's a great way to put it.
But what should I include in this note, besides just saying thank you?
Think of it as a little encore performance. Reiterate your passion, your excitement about the role, how your skills align with what they're looking for.
And maybe mention something specific that resonated with you from the interview.
Yes, that shows you were listening.
Like, I was really inspired by your vision for the youth outreach program.
Perfect. And don't forget about timing.
Yeah, how soon should I send it?
Within 24 hours is ideal.
Okay, so thank you note sent.
Yeah.
Now what? What if I haven't heard back after a while? Is it okay to follow up?
Yes. But timing is key. Remember the guide mentioned those irregular hours.
Right. So things might move a bit slower.
Exactly.
So when is it okay to check in?
A week or two after the interview,
Okay.
a polite email. Reiterate your interest.
And even if this specific role doesn't pan out,
Right.
those connections you made could be valuable later on.
Absolutely. The circus world is all about relationships. Now, before we wrap up, let's revisit that idea of being more than just a teacher. You're also a storyteller.
Right. Using circus arts to inspire those students.
It's about creating an experience that goes beyond just the technical skills.
Yeah.
Tap into that magic and wonder. Keep that in mind as you continue on this journey.
Okay. I think it's time for us to take our final bow. We've covered the role, tackled those interview questions, and even explored the power of AI.
You've got the tools and the insights to really shine in that interview.
So go out there, embrace the challenge, and let your passion for circus arts soar. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into a fascinating career path. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep reaching for those stars.